PC gaming is becoming unaffordable to gamers on a budget. Players fear. I'm gonna read this. I've already got a bit of a contrasting sentiment to throw in here. PC has always been a realm of gaming that has had one of the biggest obstacles for people has been entry level price, right? Um, but I also think that there are a lot of people that aren't familiar with PC gaming who feel like you have to have like $1,500 to $2,000 to get into PC gaming. That's not the case. It's definitely not the case. Um, is it traditionally maybe a little bit more expensive than like a console, like a $500 console? Yeah, probably a little bit. But at the same time, it pays off in the long run. You can build for the future, meaning that the PCs are something that you can set up to be upgradable in the future, whereas consoles you can't do that. It's something that is a useful tool outside of just gaming. You can get a lot done with a PC other than just gaming on it, so that's a benefit to it. Most of the time with gaming, PC gaming, you don't have to deal with any kind of paying to play games in multiplayer, paying to play online, outside of the occasion of maybe like an MMORPG online where like World of Warcraft has subscription or something, but it's not the same as like console, where if you want to play Xbox online with any of your friends in any game, you have to pay monthly. Same thing for PlayStation, same thing for Nintendo. That's disgusting. Gaming's always supposed to have been about playing with your friends, whether it be in a local environment, a LAN environment, or online. It doesn't matter. It's supposed to be about playing with your friends. And to have to pay to play online in any capacity, in my opinion, is disgusting. It's one of the things that has been a big turnoff for me about console gaming. So PC gaming, you don't have to deal with that. So you're saving money monthly right there. You don't have to deal with backwards compatibility issues. So any game that you ever buy on a platform like Steam or Epic or anything like that, if you get a new PC, you don't have to worry about backwards compatibility. You still just can play those games, as well as the fact that you get tons of free content on PC that you don't get on console. So really, the people want to talk about like the issues of like upfront cost, unaffordability of PC gaming. They don't take into consideration all the other aspects that you're saving money on when it comes to PC gaming in the long run, as opposed to console gaming. I'm not going to knock anybody for getting into gaming in any form or fashion where they're having a good time, whatever. But I will call out the things that I find to be, differing between the different platforms of gaming, and especially the different corporations of gaming, and where I feel like they try to take advantage of people. And I do feel like in the realm of gaming nowadays, console developers try in large part to take advantage of the people that they have locked into their platform and their systems. You know what I mean, Davey? As opposed to something that's more open like PC gaming is, So I'm not going to knock anybody for where they want to go game and have fun at. But you cannot deny the fact, look at my library on Epic Games. You know what I mean? My Epic Games library, I have over 250 games. I've paid for like 3 of these. I have over 250 games that are bangers, dude. Most of these are at least solid quality to banger games, dude, that I've paid for 3 of these of over 250 games. You'll never find that on console. You'll never get that on console. Ever. You know what I mean? It's just things like that I think people have to understand and take a critical look at when people want to talk about, oh, well, PC gaming's not for me. It's just too expensive. In the long run, it's at least going to balance out. At least. If not, maybe even be a little bit less expensive, in my opinion. So you got to take a critical look at these things when you come across these kinds of articles and this thought process of PC gaming is just too expensive. Can you go crazy insane with PC gaming and make like $5,000 to $10,000 rigs? Yeah, absolutely. Do you need to? Absolutely not. No, you do not. So that's the side of PC gaming that allows people to just go kind of insane, and go way over the top. You don't need to do that though. Do you remember when PC gaming was somewhat affordable? How times have changed. And I'm going to bring up another sentiment here to that I think has become a very nice thing for PC gaming as a very affordable segue for people that are interested for PC gaming that has prevented them in the past. Maybe cost has prevented them from getting into PC gaming in the past. I think there's something new that has happened in the industry over the past few years that is presenting a very nice, affordable segue for people to try their hand at PC gaming. I'll bring it up in a moment. Do you remember when PC gaming was somewhat affordable? How times have changed. PC gaming is becoming increasingly expensive, especially when it comes to purchasing the latest hardware, then staying up to date with the ever-evolving video gaming landscape. While updating your gaming PC can be expensive, there was a time when purchasing actual video games on PC cost less than their console counterparts. Now, mostly, PC and console video games are around the same price. Remember what I just said, though. How often on a console are you able to just go out and get free games all the time? So if you want to talk about price, if you're going out and you're buying a game that just released, yeah. If it's a multi-platform game and you're going to buy it at on release, then yeah, that's the way that works. It's been like that for a long time. There's also the debate on inflation. Yes, comparatively, video games from the 90s were technically more expensive to purchase, and yes, today they can be more expensive to develop. However, unlike yesteryear, many modern-day video games are flooded with microtransactions, and expansions are certainly more plentiful today. Reddit users took to the site to discuss just how much PC prices had risen by. Me and my brother were planning on a 1440p build. We're looking up the parts and prices online this week in India. The R7800 XT and the Ryzen 5800 X3D alone cost $1,100. We have around 20% customs duty. Our final build came to an equivalent of around $1,900, said Redditor ShadowBlaze25MC. They continued, we looked at the Xbox Series X price, shocked to see it was $580 here after custom. So we theorized we could get a Series X, Xbox Game Pass, Ultimate for a year, and our RTX 3060 laptop on sale for around $900. Or a pre-owned 3070 Ti laptop, a $200 1440p monitor. Still have money left over to buy a couple of games. Becoming increasingly clear that console gaming may be the more cost-effective option. Always has been. It's definitively fluctuated over the years, but in general, PC gaming is more expensive, replied Chameleon. PC hardware prices have undergone a huge inflation in the past decade, making building a gaming PC capable of playing the same games as current-gen consoles at comparable visuals and performance is vastly more expensive. Users in the thread mentioned that the cost of building a gaming PC can be trimmed down by quite a lot if you're willing to play at 1080p and not 1440p. Not to mention that if built correctly, a PC can be used for much more than just gaming. Yep. I think it's becoming affordable, but only if you are okay with 1080p, 60 frames per second gaming. Okay? So, this is one of those things that people have to determine for themselves too, right? I'm always going to shoot for more frames than the resolution, because I play a lot of games where frames matter to me, and genres of games where frames traditionally matter more. But everybody has their preference. The thing that kills me about a lot of console games nowadays is like, consoles don't even hardly give you an option anymore. You see it quite often. Redfall didn't. Gotham Knights didn't. All they focus on is you can play at 4K, but you're only getting 30 frames. Whereas on PC, you're going to have options, My friend recently built his PC that cost $700. He's able to run mostly everything at 1080p, 60 frames, explained Zombie Nerd 300. Gaming has not become unaffordable. going off of the parts you were looking for tells me you think you need more than you actually do need to game at 1440p, suggested all Sesco. At the end of the day, both PC and console gaming have their own positive and negatives over the other. Yes, building a gaming PC can get very expensive without research, also offers more flexibility. At the end of the day, there are options for everyone. I agree. There are pros and cons to both. I have personally, again, gotten to the point where I feel like console gaming has become more of a scummy segment. The developers of consoles, PlayStation, Nintendo, Xbox, they know they've got people locked into these segments. And when they get people locked in, well, that's where my library is, Well, that's what I'm familiar with. Well, I don't feel comfortable diving into another or even the PC realm because I'm not very technically knowledgeable or whatever. There's a lot of different reasons why people want to stay where they've been and they're comfortable with it, right? They want to stay there. They know they've got people locked into that, right? Which is why you see Xbox do things like if you want, storage expansion and you're getting an extra, terabyte of storage, you're paying $200 for it. When a terabyte of storage retail usually runs for about solid state drive, $70. But you're paying triple that because Xbox felt the need to collaborate with proprietary makers of a storage expansion system for their console, right? Which was Western Digital and Seagate. It's scummy stuff like that. Yeah. There's always pros and cons, things to take into consideration. Is the price point for getting into PC gaming a little bit more? Usually, yes, it is. Yeah. But again, you're getting not just a gaming console, you're getting a utility, a tool to use for many different applications other than just gaming. You're getting something that you can build for the future. You're getting something where you get tons of free content all the time. You're getting something where you don't have to normally pay online most of the time. There's all kinds of ways in where it balances out, right? So yeah, it's a long news segment today, man. Yeah, it's a long news segment. We've had a lot of good talks though, and it's okay. We've had some pretty short ones here lately too, but it's all right, man. We'll get into the gaming stuff as long as the topics we're covering and everything are appropriate and we're having good conversations, man. It is what it is. This is important to me, and I think it's important to a lot of other people in the community too. So if we're fleshing it out, it's okay. This is good stuff, man. So this is the only other thing I want to talk about here, right? When you're discussing, you can't have this topic without bringing up things that are happening in modern gaming, like the Steam Deck. Okay, you've got these pieces of hardware that are emulating what Nintendo did with the Switch, but they're doing it for PC gaming. So whether you want to talk about, and these are all at different price points, they give you different options hardware-wise, but they're giving people an easy, locked-in way to kind of segue into PC gaming. You want to talk about the Steam Deck at the lowest kind of price point, the Lenovo Legion Go, which is just released, which is very similar to the Switch, just more modern hardware, detachable controllers, all that kind of stuff. Lot bigger battery at a price point in just over what the Switch is, or not the Switch, but the Steam Deck, and then the Asus ROG Ally, which is at the highest price point of between $900 and $1,000. These are all different pieces of hardware here that I think, and especially the lower ones, I think the Steam Deck and the Lenovo Legion Go especially are giving gamers an option of an easier segue into PC gaming that gives people that dual role mobile / traditional console that you can dock. It docks, turns into the traditional console, and it's a nice little segue into PC gaming. You can't leave that out of the conversation either. Where it like the Steam Deck plays a ton of games at a really nice entry point, price point for consumers, and it's a great little device, man. talking about what we were talking about earlier, you know what I mean? With, how user friendly is it for the consumer? Quality of life friendly is it for the consumer? Very, very. All those devices actually are. So you can't talk about this without also bringing into play the different modern pieces of like hardware that are coming into. You don't have to build a desktop rig to be doing PC gaming. You know what I mean? That's not the way this is anymore. You have to kind of think about all the options that are out there for people nowadays.